Have you ever felt like you were becoming invisible? Like you walked into a room and the world just looked right past you? It is a heavy feeling, a quiet ache in the heart. We look in the mirror and we see the silver hair and the stories written on our skin, and we wonder, is my best self a thing of the past? True magnetism, that real, undeniable attraction, it does not belong only to the young. It belongs to us. There are 8 specific things that some people our age still do, and it makes them absolutely magnetic. It is a glow, a spark, a certain presence that stops people in their tracks. If you are still doing these 8 things, you are incredibly attractive. Let us talk about why you are more beautiful today than ever before. 1. Prioritize consistent, low-impact strength training. Let's talk about something we often overlook when we think about beauty. It isn't about the cream we put on our faces or the clothes in our closets. No. It's about how we carry ourselves. It is about the way we walk into a room with our heads held high and a steady, confident stride. That kind of presence comes from one very specific habit: strength. As we reach our 60s and 70s, our bodies naturally want to let go of muscle. The doctors call it muscle loss, but we can just call it the slow fade. But here is the wonderful news. This process is not a one-way street. We can actually reverse it. When we keep our muscles toned, we aren't just getting stronger. We are giving ourselves a natural, internal facelift. You see, when our core muscles are firm, our posture changes. We stop slouching, we stand taller, and someone who stands tall projects an aura of capability, of health, and of a deep inner vitality that is undeniably attractive. People notice when you move with ease. They notice when you can pick up your groceries or lift a grandchild without a second thought. There was a very famous study done at Tufts University. They looked at people in their late 70s and even their 80s. These weren't athletes. They were regular folks just like us. They started doing simple resistance exercises. And you know what happened? Their bone density increased. Their strength doubled. They didn't just look better. They felt like they had found a fountain of youth. This isn't about being a bodybuilder. We don't need to go to a loud, crowded gym and lift heavy iron. Not at all. It's about functional strength. It's about keeping the engine running smoothly. I have a dear friend named Arthur. He's 74 years young. A few years ago, Arthur started to feel a bit creaky, as he put it. He felt like he was slowing down. So, he decided to start a simple routine. 3 times a week, right in his living room, he uses these colorful resistance bands and a pair of light, 5-pound hand weights. He even does some of it while sitting in his favorite chair. Just the other day, Arthur and I were at a neighborhood barbecue. Someone walked up to him and said, "Arthur, you look sturdy. You look like you've got a real spark in your step." And it's true. His chronic back pain, it's gone. His energy, it's through the roof. That sturdy look Arthur has, that is what I call being attractive. It's the beauty of a body that still says yes to life. If you want to start today, please keep it simple. You don't need fancy equipment. Use a couple of water bottles as weights. Find a resistance band online for $10. Do it while you watch the evening news. Just 10 or 15 minutes 3 times a week. Your muscles will thank you, and your mirror will show you a version of yourself that looks more vibrant than you've felt in years. 2. Cultivate a student mindset through lifelong learning. Have you ever met someone who just seems bright? I don't mean the lights in the room. I mean the light behind their eyes. There is something incredibly magnetic about a person who is genuinely curious about the world. even after 7 or 8 decades of living in it. When we decide that we are done learning, we start to become a bit static. We tell the same old stories, we look at the same old things, but when we embrace a student mindset, something magical happens in our brains. Science tells us that our brains can actually grow new pathways. It's called neuroplasticity. Basically, our brains stay plastic and flexible as long as we keep feeding them new ideas. This mental sharpness is a huge part of being attractive. Think about it. Who would you rather talk to at a dinner party? Someone who only talks about their aches and pains, or someone who just started an online course about American history, or someone who is teaching themselves how to play the ukulele? When you are learning, your conversations become witty. They become engaging. You have a twinkle in your eye because you are excited about something new. That excitement is a magnet. It draws people toward you. It makes you relevant. It makes you fascinating to your kids, your grandkids, and your neighbors. There is a wonderful project called the Rush Memory and Aging Project. They have spent years studying how our minds age. Their research is detailed. Staying cognitively active. Keep using that brain, and you will see a much slower rate of mental decline. It keeps your personality vibrant. It keeps your spirit young. Think about Sarah. Sarah is 72. She spent her whole life working in an office, and she never thought of herself as an artist. But last year, she decided to download an app on her iPad to learn digital painting. She started small, just playing with colors and shapes. Then, she joined a local community class at the senior center to learn more. Now, when you see Sarah, she isn't just Sarah the retiree. She is Sarah the artist. She talks about light and shadow and the way the trees look in the morning. She has this energy, this hunger for life, that is so beautiful to be around. She isn't stuck in the past. She is looking forward to her next masterpiece. You can do this too, and it doesn't have to cost a dime. Maybe you spend 30 minutes a day on an app like Duolingo, learning a few words of Italian for that trip you've always dreamed of. Or maybe you go to the local library and pick up a book on a subject you know absolutely nothing about. When you keep learning, your vocabulary stays rich, your memory stays sharp, and most importantly, you maintain a sharp social presence. You don't just take up space in a room, you light it up. You become a person of substance. And let me tell you, in a world that is often superficial, a person of substance is the most attractive person there is. So, keep that mind open, stay curious, ask questions, be a student of life, and watch how the world starts looking at you with brand new eyes. It's a beautiful thing to see a mind that is still growing, still reaching, and still shining bright. 3. Maintain deep, intergenerational social connections. You know, there is a certain kind of beauty that doesn't come from a bottle. It doesn't come from a jar of expensive cream. It is a glow, a real, warm, natural glow. And that glow comes from one thing. It comes from belonging. When we feel like we are a part of something, when we feel seen, and when we feel loved, it actually changes the way we look. It changes the way we hold our faces. Our smiles become more genuine. Our eyes become brighter. There is a very famous study, perhaps the most famous one in the world, called the Harvard Study of Adult Development. These researchers have been following people for over 80 years. They wanted to know the secret to a long, happy, and healthy life. And you know what they found? It wasn't about wealth. It wasn't even about cholesterol levels. It was about the quality of our relationships, connection, true connection. As we move through our 70s and 80s, It can be very easy to stay inside our own little circles. We talk to people our own age. We talk about the good old days. But if you want to stay truly attractive, truly magnetic, you have to reach across the years. You have to seek out intergenerational friendships. Think about it. There is something so refreshing about talking to a young person. Maybe it's a neighbor's college-age son or a young mother at the community garden. When we mentor someone or when we simply listen to their stories, it keeps our own perspectives fresh. It keeps our spirits young. It stops us from becoming stagnant. Isolation is a quiet shadow. It can make us feel tired. It can make our presence feel dimmed. But social engagement is like a natural facelift. It releases a hormone called oxytocin. Some people call it the cuddle hormone. It lowers our stress. It relaxes the muscles in our face. It makes us look approachable. I always tell my friends, don't just stick to the folks who remember the same movies as you. Go where the energy is. Join a choir where there are voices of all ages. Volunteer at a local school, or better yet, join a community garden. Imagine it. You're standing there in the sun. The smell of damp soil and fresh tomatoes is in the air. A young person asks you for advice on how to prune a rose bush. In that moment, you aren't just an older person. You are a teacher. You are a friend. You are a vital part of the community. That sense of purpose, that feeling of being needed, it does wonders for your optimism. And optimism is beautiful. It is perhaps the most attractive trait a human being can have. When you look at the world with hope, the world looks back at you with admiration. So, reach out, make a phone call, say hello to the young couple next door, build those bridges, because a heart that is full of people is a heart that never truly grows old. 4. Practice mindful hydration and nutrient-dense eating. We have all heard the saying, "You are what you eat." But as we get older, this becomes more than just a saying. It becomes a visible reality. In our 60s and 70s, our skin and our energy levels are direct reflections of what we put inside our bodies. Think of your body like a classic car. It's a beautiful machine. It has traveled many miles, but to keep it running smoothly, to keep the paint shining, you have to give it the very best fuel. Let's talk about water first. Hydration. This is something many of us forget. As we reach our 70s, our bodies actually lose some of their ability to feel thirsty. Our thirst mechanism gets a little bit sleepy. We might be dehydrated and not even know it. But look in the mirror. Dehydration makes our skin look thin. It makes it look papery. It makes our eyes look tired. But when we drink enough water, our skin looks plump. It looks healthy. Our eyes stay bright. I tell everyone, carry a nice, stylish water bottle with you. Don't wait until you feel thirsty. Sip on it throughout the day. A glass in the morning, a glass with your lunch, a glass in the afternoon. It is the simplest beauty secret in the world, and it is practically free. And then, there is the food. We don't need to follow complicated diets. We just need to eat the rainbow. That is what the experts at AARP suggest. Think about your plate. Is it full of color? Deep green spinach, vibrant blueberries, bright orange carrots, and healthy pink salmon. These colors aren't just for show. They are antioxidants. They fight off the stress inside our cells. They help our brain stay sharp, and they keep our skin elastic. I have a friend named Martha. She is 68. For a long time, Martha had a habit of reaching for sugary snacks in the afternoon, cookies, or maybe a piece of cake with her coffee. She told me she always felt foggy and tired by 5 o'clock, so Martha decided to make a small change. She swapped the cookies for a handful of raw almonds and a cup of warm herbal tea. She started eating more walnuts and wild-caught salmon for the healthy fats. About a month later, We were having lunch. I looked at her and I said, "Martha, did you go on a secret vacation? You look so rested." She laughed. She hadn't gone anywhere. She had just changed her fuel. Her complexion was clear. Her energy was steady. She didn't have that haggard look that comes from a sugar crash. She looked vibrant. When we nourish ourselves well, we feel better. And when we feel better, we radiate vitality. People can see it from across the room. They see a person who respects their body. They see a person who has the energy to engage, to laugh, and to live. So, today, try to add one more color to your plate. Drink one extra glass of water. It isn't about being perfect. It's about being mindful. It's about giving your body the love it deserves. When you eat well, and when you stay hydrated, you aren't just staying healthy. You are staying attractive. You are keeping that spark alive for everyone to see. And that, my dear friends, is a beautiful way to live. 5. Master the art of a grateful and positive disposition. Have you ever noticed how some people, as they reach their 70s, just seem to radiate a kind of warmth? You see them at the grocery store, or perhaps at a local park, and you can't help but want to smile back at them. It isn't just about their features, it's about their energy. You see, by the time we have lived 65 or 80 years, our life experiences start to show on our faces. We call it a resting face. If a person has spent decades being cynical or holding on to bitterness, those feelings get etched into the lines of their skin. But if a person has practiced gratitude, their face develops a different kind of map. It becomes a warm face, an approachable face, a beautiful face. There is a wonderful group of researchers at the Greater Good Science Center. That's at UC Berkeley. They have found that practicing gratitude actually changes our biology. It lowers blood pressure. It improves the quality of our sleep. But most importantly, it creates an internal peace that people can see from the outside. When we choose to be grateful, our jaw muscles relax, our forehead becomes smooth, our smiles become soft and genuine. Think about that for a moment. Gratitude. An attractive senior is often someone who has decided to replace complaining with appreciation. They become a light in the room. People want to be near that light. It's magnetic. I have a little ritual that I love to share. It's very simple. Every night, right before I turn out the lamp, I write down 3 specific things that went well that day. It doesn't have to be anything big. Maybe it was the way the sun hit the trees in the afternoon, or perhaps it was a nice 20-minute phone call with a cousin. When you do this, you're training your brain. You're teaching your mind to look for the good, and when your mind is full of good things, your face shows it. You will notice a change in your mood. You will feel more stable, more grounded, and you will carry an aura of kindness that makes you the most attractive person in any circle of friends. It's a choice we make every single day. Let's choose to be the light. 6. Prioritize restorative sleep and recovery. We often talk about diet and exercise, but there is one thing that is just as important, maybe even more important, for our vitality, and that is sleep. Sleep is the ultimate rejuvenation tool. It is the time when our bodies go to work. While we are dreaming, our system is busy repairing tissues. Our brain is busy clearing out toxins. It is like a nightly cleanup crew for our entire being. When we are well rested, we look different. We stand taller. We have better posture. Our skin looks refreshed, and those dark circles under our eyes begin to fade. But it's more than just looks. It's about our spirit. According to the National Sleep Foundation, keeping a consistent sleep schedule is vital when we are in our 70s. It helps regulate our internal clock. It keeps our hormones balanced. When we don't get enough rest, we are running on fumes. We become irritable. We lose our patience. Our natural charisma just doesn't have the energy to shine through the clouds of exhaustion. I know. Sleep can be tricky as we get older. We wake up more often. It takes longer to drift off. But there are ways to invite sleep back into our lives. I like to use a technique called a digital sunset. Think about the sunset outside. The light fades slowly. It's peaceful. We can do the same for our brains. About 60 minutes before you want to sleep, turn off the screens. No television news, no scrolling on the phone. These things have a blue light that tells our brain to stay awake. Instead, try a physical book or some soft, calming music, maybe a warm bath. This signals to your body that it is time to recharge. When you prioritize your rest, you're giving yourself a gift. You will wake up with mental clarity. You will have more patience for your loved ones, and you will have the energy to be the vibrant, engaged, and attractive person you are meant to be. Rest is not a luxury. It is a necessity. So, tonight, permit yourself to let go of the day. Turn down the lights. Breathe deeply. And let your body find the recovery it needs. You will wake up tomorrow, and the world will see the difference in your eyes. They will see the energy. They will see the spark, and they will see a person who is truly, deeply full of life. 7. Embrace fluidity through mindful movement. Have you ever stopped to watch how someone moves across a room? Not just the speed, but the way they carry their weight, the way they flow. When we are young, we move like water. We are fluid. We are flexible. But as the years pass, if we aren't careful, we can start to feel a bit like stone. We become stiff. We become rigid. And that stiffness, that tightness in our joints, it can make us appear much older than we actually are. But there is a secret to staying ageless, and it isn't found in a gym. It's found in fluidity. Practices like yoga or Tai Chi are absolutely perfect for us. These aren't just exercises. They are a way to reconnect our minds with our bodies. They help us find our balance again. The Journal of Aging and Physical Activity has shared some wonderful news. They found that Tai Chi can significantly improve our stability. It gives us more confidence when we walk. It stops that shuffling gait that many people associate with aging. When you move with grace, when you move with ease, people notice. It projects a sense of vitality that is incredibly appealing. If you want to try this, you don't even have to leave your house. You can look up chair yoga on YouTube, or you can check if your insurance covers silver sneakers programs at the local community center. I have a very simple tip that I use every single day. It sounds funny, but it works. When you are brushing your teeth in the morning, try standing on just one leg. Switch to the other leg after 30 seconds. This simple act builds your core strength. It improves your balance. It helps you walk with a confident, attractive, and steady stride. It's about moving through life with ease. It's about being fluid, just like water. 8. Maintain a sense of purpose. There is one quality, one single trait that is more attractive than anything else, more than muscle, more than smooth skin. It is a sense of purpose. Think about the people you admire most. They are the ones who have a reason to get up in the morning. They have a why. Maybe their why is volunteering at the local library. Maybe it is helping to raise their grandchildren. Or maybe it is finally pursuing that passion for painting or gardening they never had time for before. In the world of psychology, there is a beautiful term for this. It is called geri-transcendence. It is a big word, but it has a simple meaning. It means that as we grow older, we start to look beyond ourselves. We care less about things, and we care more about our connection to the world. We care about the bigger picture. A person with a purpose carries themselves differently. They have a certain gravity. They have a certain confidence. They know that they still have so much to offer the world. That sense of being needed. It creates a vibrant energy. It is a spark. And let me tell you, There is no cosmetic product in the world that can replicate that spark. If you feel like you are searching for your purpose, start small. Find one cause that pulls at your heart. Maybe you dedicate just 2 hours a week to it. You could write letters to neighbors who live alone. You could help out at a local animal shelter, or you could mentor a young person who is just starting their career. When you give, you receive so much more in return. You find a deep sense of fulfillment, and that fulfillment shows on your face. It makes you radiant. It makes you purpose-driven. You are a person of value. You are a person of wisdom. And when you live your life with purpose, you aren't just aging, you are shining. And there is nothing, absolutely nothing more attractive than a person who knows exactly why they are here. So, as we look back on these 8 habits, remember one thing. This is not about chasing the past. It is about honoring the incredible person you are right now. You have worked hard, you have raised families, you have built communities, and now it is your turn to shine. I want to ask you, which one of these habits spoke to your heart today? Just one. Please, share it with me in the comments below. Reading your stories is the best part of my day, and it helps our little community stay connected and strong. If this message brought a bit of light to your afternoon, please give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe so we can keep walking this beautiful path together. You are vibrant, you are valued, and you are truly attractive. Thank you for spending your time with me, and I will see you in the next one.